Every Halloween night, our street comes alive. Kids in costumes, porch lights glowing orange, and the smell of pumpkin spice in the air. But last year, something was off. My name's Daniel. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Oregon, the kind where everyone knows everyone. Halloween is usually my favorite night of the year. I decorate the house, put out a fog machine, creepy music, the whole setup. But last year, it felt different. The air was colder, the street quieter, and there was this strange unease I couldn't shake. By 10 p.m., the trick-or-treaters were gone. I was just cleaning up when the doorbell rang. Ding-dong. I looked at the clock. 10:47 p.m. That's way too late for kids. When I opened the door, a small figure stood there, wearing a black pumpkin mask. No parents. No friends. Just standing there holding out a bag. I chuckled nervously. "You're kinda late, buddy." No response. Just the slow, mechanical sound of breathing behind the mask. "Okay," I said, dropping a few candies into the bag. But the kid didn't move. He just tilted his head, then whispered something, so faint I could barely hear it. "Trick or die." I froze. "What did you just say?" He didn't answer. He just turned around and started walking away. No running, no sound of footsteps, just fading into the fog. I tried to laugh it off. Probably some edgy teenager messing around. But then I noticed something on the porch. A single black candy, wrapped in paper. I picked it up, curious. The paper had something written in red ink. "You should have turned off your light." My porch light flickered, then went out. That night I barely slept. But the real horror began the next morning. Because when I went outside, every house on my street looked normal, except mine. There was a mark burned into my front door. Pumpkin face. Smiling. The cops said it was vandalism. They didn't believe me when I said I saw that kid again the next night. Standing across the street. Same mask. Same slow breathing. And then, every Halloween since, at exactly 10:47 p.m., the doorbell rings again. Always once. Always that same whisper. Trick or die. And now I never open the door. Because one of my neighbors, the one who tried to confront the masked kid last year, he hasn't been seen since that night. Some people say it's just a prank. Some say it's a curse. But I know the truth. This Halloween, when your doorbell rings late at night, don't open it. Because sometimes the last trick-or-treater isn't alive. It's been a year since that Halloween night. A year since the masked kid came to my door and whispered those cursed words. I moved out of that house 3 months later, packed my life into a truck and drove 900 miles east. New town, new house, no decorations this time, no pumpkins, no porch light. I thought I left it all behind. But evil, it follows you. It was October 31st again. And for the first time in years, I decided not to celebrate Halloween at all. I turned off my phone, closed the curtains, and just sat in the dark with a bottle of whiskey. At 10:47 p.m., my power flickered. The TV turned on by itself, white noise. Then, a faint voice through the static. Trick or die. I dropped the glass. The sound echoed in the silence of my living room. My heart was pounding. I turned off the TV, but it flicked back on instantly, showing live footage of my front porch. Except I don't have a camera installed there. And on the screen, there he was. The same kid. Same black pumpkin mask. Standing motionless at my door. I backed away slowly, my mind racing. I didn't have neighbors close enough to prank me. My nearest neighbor was 2 houses down. This wasn't possible. Then the doorknob began to twist. Slowly. Ran to the back room, grabbed my phone and called 911. Someone's at my door. I think they're trying to break in. The operator's calm voice said, "Sir, stay on the line. Where are you located?" I gave her the address. But before I could say more, the line went dead. Just static. And from the hallway came the sound of footsteps. Wet, a heavy, slow. Thud, thud, thud. I hid in the closet, clutching the phone like it could save me. The sound grew louder. Then it stopped right outside the door. I held my breath. Through the thin slits of the closet door, I saw him. That same black mask. the red eyes glowing faintly in the dark. And in his hand my porch light, broken off the wall, still flickering. He lifted his head slowly and whispered, "You moved, but I never said you could." Then everything went black. When I woke up, it was morning. The door was open, no sign of anyone, but carved into my living room wall were 3 words, burned deep into the wood. "See you soon." I moved again. Different state, different name, no phone, no internet. But last night I heard it again. The same knock, 3 slow taps on the door. And now, I know he's coming back this Halloween. Not for candy, not for tricks, but for me. It's been weeks since I last slept properly. Every sound outside, every creak in the floorboards, feels like him. I started researching, not just the kid but the mask. It turns out, there's a small town about 80 miles west of where I used to live. A town called Ashwood Falls, abandoned for over 30 years after a mysterious Halloween fire. According to old police reports, the town used to host a big annual Halloween parade. People came from all around. But in 1992, something went horribly wrong. A local boy, 10 years old, named Evan Keller, went missing that night. He was last seen trick-or-treating, wearing a handmade black pumpkin mask. When they found him days later, his body was burned beyond recognition. But the mask, using human ash. I didn't believe any of it. Until last night, I received a box on my doorstep, no label, no return address. Inside was a new mask, identical to the one Evan wore. And a note, "If you wear it, you'll see the truth." I should have burned it. I wanted to, but curiosity kills faster than fear. I waited until midnight.
Lis à Candeule.
And put on the mask. The moment it touched my face, the room vanished. I was standing on an empty street, fog rolling across the pavement. Old houses charred and half collapsed. Ashwood Falls. Children's laughter echoed through the mist. Then I saw him, the boy in the black pumpkin mask. He wasn't walking this time. He was floating. He drifted closer and whispered, his voice overlapping with 1,000 others. "Old, young, angry, afraid. You wore the mask. Now you belong here too." I tried to pull it off, but it wouldn't move. It felt like the mask was melting into my skin, like it was breathing with me. I screamed, but no sound came out. Just static, the same sound from the TV that night. Then I saw my reflection in a cracked window, and I realized something. I was wearing the mask, but behind me so was he. The boy reached out and touched my shoulder. Everything went black. When I woke up, I was back in my house, but the walls were covered in soot. The windows burned, and the calendar still said October 31st. Even though I'd lost count of days, there was a note pinned to the wall, written in ash, "You can move again, but you'll always have the mask." I ran to the mirror, and there it was, not on